you'd most likely have an experience akin to a Jurassic nightmare, and probably end up in the belly of one of the world's oldest surviving species. Ramree is unique because it is home to the largest
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets React, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. We're super excited about this video, guys. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit the red subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell, because we're on the road to 50K. And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
What island in Southeast Asia is crawling with man-eating crocodiles? How did Danger Island earn its name? Find out in 12 most dangerous islands you never want to visit.
Now, that's bad around the world, but you talking about an island where you can't go nowhere other than the island.
Farallon Islands. 20 miles west of San Francisco sits a series of islands that are so jagged they have earned the moniker the Devil's Teeth. But this may no longer be a name based only in appearance. Because of the island's potential dangers, humans have been banned from stepping foot on the islands. The waters around the islands are still a popular destination for whale watchers, and because humans can no longer interfere, the Farallons have become home to one of the largest seabird colonies in the United States. Although you can still catch intrepid skin divers sneaking onto the islands, the government adamantly warns anyone that they do so at their own risk. While you might be able to avoid the dozens of great white sharks that roam the area, feeding off the Farallon's large population of elephant seals, the real danger is one you won't be able to punch in the nose. Throughout the middle of the 20th century, were used for the disposal of radioactive materials. There are almost 50,000 drums full of nuclear waste throughout the area.
How?
And with numbers that high, leaks are an inevitable certainty.
Number 11.
How does that even get to the island, though? If no one's supposed to be by, like, I understand over years, you know what I mean? They may have it there, but like at some point it was a cutoff, so it shouldn't be as bad.
So we just using the island as a jump place? And
it's bad because more sea animals are surrounding it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, I mean, but what about the birds? If we are, you know, the birds are there, the birds got to travel back to us. Are they bringing some of that toxic waste to us?
Eating the rats and the little lizards and stuff. So yeah, 100%. That's a good question. But why the waste is why so much waste still?
Right. Okay.
West of the African island of Madagascar, in the Indian Ocean, sits Reunion Island, a small yet busy island that is covered by rainforests, rivers, and breathtaking waterfalls. Though it is over 5,500 miles away from France, the island is still governed by French law. And because it is less of a hassle than traveling to island destinations where passports may be required, it has become a popular vacation destination for French citizens. Because of this, the island is one of the most modern islands in terms of sanitation and transportation. It could be easy to get carried away daydreaming about visiting Reunion because of its beautiful villages and relative isolation from the outside world. But tourists must be prepared for the terrifying realities of this pristine locale.
Got dinosaurs.
First off, it is home to one of the most active volcanoes in all of the world, which was a popular hiking destination for tourists until it was deemed too dangerous to traverse. The island also has the distinction of being one of the leading islands in terms of annual rainfall in the entire world, and is often the victim of violent tropical cyclones. Lastly,
Child, we deal with enough hurricanes. You can count us out. I'm just going, wait. Imagine, because you know some people during hurricane season, that's their vacation season. Mm-hmm. So imagine leaving your home to avoid having to deal with the hurricane stuff, to go to an island that has hurricanes, the most violent triclone, whatever, the hurricanes.
Just a lot of water and wind.
Jesus Christ, nah, I'm good.
Not happening.
Reunion is known for having one of the largest and most vicious populations of sharks encircling it. The shark attacks have become so bad that the French government has forbidden surfing around the island.
Wow.
Despite this, there are still around half a dozen people who meet their demise every year from shark attacks.
Number 10.
Danger Island. South of Maldives, in the western part of the Indian Ocean, lies the Chagos Archipelago, a series of coral islands long inhabited by the Chagos people. One of the smallest of these atolls is Danger Island, which is full of coconut trees. They used to act as reserve by the Chagos. In the event food supplies ran short, the island is full of wildlife. Most significantly, it is the home of two rare birds with fun names to say: brown noddies and red-footed boobies. The island isn't actually as dangerous to modern-day adventurers as its name suggests. The name is merely a holdover from ye olden times, as when it was first mapped in the 19th century, seafarers found the coral reef and rocky shoals that surrounded it too treacherous to anchor their ships.
Okay.
Even with modern transportation, the island is incredibly difficult to get to and navigate without risking damage. If you were to end up grounded or wrecked near Danger Island, you would find yourself utterly isolated from the world, and would be especially in trouble if you were allergic to coconuts.
Number 9.
Tristan da Cunha.
Well,
Almost 18...
that one wasn't that bad though.
Nah.
What was it about it that was so terrible other than the sharks? Deserted?
Yeah. Being isolated.
Being isolated?
Like, yeah, being isolated.
Allergic
I
to
think I would
coconuts?
Yeah. I don't like coconuts like that.
If I had to
Like,
live
to
off of
eat,
coconut
no.
water, I would drink the hell out of some coconut water. Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's all you have.
Just, bleh, just keep taking it back
Yeah,
in.
but I don't see anything that was too dangerous.
Nah.
What y'all think?
I mean, an island full of coconut trees. For one, that looks nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice look.
Yeah.
100 miles of South Africa is the British territory known as Tristan da Cunha. Visiting this grassy circle-shaped
Volcano?
island that measures
Like
only
a
8
boom.
miles across can be incredibly daunting, as the only way to reach it is by traveling 7 days by boat. Because of this, it once had the distinction of being the most isolated, yet still inhabited place on Earth. That was until the volcano that formed the island had enough of being host to humans and erupted in 1961, causing widespread devastation. Luckily, because there were only a few inhabitants to begin with on Tristan da Cunha, the British were able to successfully relocate everyone to England before they could be wiped out. Slowly, people have returned. The island is now home to 270 locals who live life off the grid and farm to make ends meet, all the while trying to forget that the volcano may evict them at a moment's notice.
I'm trying to forget.
You can't forget that.
Y'all live like so close to the volcano.
Yeah, yo, Mark, where y'all gonna go if that thing explode again?
I mean, they said
270 people, that's not a lot.
it's not a lot. I mean, y'all just gonna have to be pushed a little bit to the water.
It hits the water. It created the island. I'm pretty sure if it wants to get bigger, it's gonna get bigger.
I don't know about that, y'all. How can y'all forget?
Number 8.
Bikini Atoll. The
Bikini.
Marshall Islands are a series of
Atoll.
atolls and islands that lie east of Guam, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Okay.
The most famous of these islands is that of Bikini Atoll,
Just look like
which
a
although
beach.
small,
Yeah, a
helped
long
shape
walk.
history, along the way becoming synonymous
Ooh,
with the
blue
two-piece
water.
bathing suit and the atomic bomb. What was once a beautiful tropical locale is now a radioactive wasteland, as Bikini Atoll was one of the main sites at which the United States military tested nuclear weapons. Though the island had a small indigenous population, they were all relocated to a nearby island in 1946, before testing commenced. The island has remained abandoned to this day, aside from researchers studying the effects of radioactivity.
Number 7.
Hey, whoever's
Hashima
job is to discover and visit new islands probably have one heck of a job. That's a fun
Yeah.
job,
Yeah.
for one.
I mean,
Because you're looking at leaves that you never seen form before. Trees
Yeah,
that you never
but-
seen, fruits that you never seen.
not when you're forcing, the people to leave.
Nah, I never said that. Nah, but that's not even right. You shouldn't force no one to leave, especially if it's those people that never visit outside of their own island. You know what I mean? So, like, you visited, you see them type of people, I'll come in peace, hopefully they don't hit you with an arrow. Hoo-hoo.
I come in peace, and then boom, we're gonna test things on this island. You gotta leave. Like, nah.
Nah, they shouldn't be doing that, though.
If you head out to sea, traveling west from Nagasaki, Japan, you will come across what appears to be a floating fortress. This is the island of Hashima, aptly known by the nickname Battleship Island. Hashima was once one of the main sources of fuel for the Japanese military during World War II. The island was home to a coal mine, and because of the sheer amount of workers, the majority of which being Korean and Chinese POWs and enslaved civilians, It was at one point the most densely populated place on Earth. However, a few years after the war, the Japanese eschewed coal for oil, and the mine was abandoned. Because there is no one to manage the giant housing buildings and other complexes, they have fallen into severe disrepair, and nature is slowly taking back the island. This has made the island extremely dangerous to traverse, as the buildings and seawalls built to hold back vicious tsunami waves are crumbling all around. It is also believed that there may be unrecovered naval mines in the surrounding water.
I believe that.
Number 6.
Bear Island.
Come on, give me a bear on the
Between
island.
Arctic island of Svalbard and mainland Norway lies Bear Island.
They gotta have a
The
bear on
island,
there.
with an area just over 110 square miles, was once considered a vital position for naval reconnaissance, but now only hosts little more than a weather station and a few abandoned houses. The entire island has been declared a nature reserve by the Norwegian government, but there really isn't much nature to find, as it is largely devoid of plant and animal life, aside from moss, seabirds, and fish. It is believed that much of this is due to toxic contaminants that have found their way to the island via air currents that waft pollution from industrial countries like the United States and England, which bordered the Atlantic. But the true danger of Bear Island comes from another form of pollution. In 1989, a Soviet nuclear submarine crashed just south of the island, resulting in much of the water surrounding the island having been possibly contaminated with radioactive waste. Then, in 2009, a Russian transport carrying upwards of 15,000 gallons of oil rammed into the island, becoming lodged. Much of the oil leaked into the sea, causing large numbers of the island's seabird population to perish, and only adding to the man-made destruction haunting the island.
Golly.
The pollution, combined with the desert-like terrain which averages nearly 0 inches of rainfall a year, and the steep, sharp cliffs that make up Bear Island, makes this one place you can cross off your list of potential vacation destinations.
Yeah, we ain't
Number
gonna go there.
5.
There ain't no-
Sabah. If you are willing to brave the rocky but short 12-minute plane ride from St. Martin to Sabah, the smallest island in the Dutch Antilles, you will be graced with a view like none other, a place that looks trapped in the ancient past. Upon arrival, you will find a village nestled upon a volcano that is full of vibrant atmosphere, with live music, family-owned restaurants featuring fresh-caught cuisine, and plenty of outdoor activities like scuba diving and hiking. But all this comes at a cost. One might say that the locals have become such experts at having a good time because they know at any moment it could all be destroyed. Tourists have been known to call it the unspoiled Queen of the Caribbean, but it could be more accurately described as Hurricane Island.
Oh no, we
Because
ain't
of its
going.
location right in the Atlantic's Hurricane Alley, the island has been noted for being hit by the most hurricanes of any island on Earth.
Wow.
Despite the constant attacks that Mother Nature brings down upon Sabah, its people still find a way to survive and rebuild time and time again.
Oh, job.
Number 4.
Too much.
Rockall. The tiny 80-foot wide island known as Rockall, which lies nearly 300 miles off of Scotland's western shore, has such an imposing presence, it has made its way into Irish and Scottish legends, as well as popular culture through music, books, and television. People have long been entranced with its simple yet powerful structure, with some ancient myths going as far to name it the location where the apocalypse will begin. The real-life danger is in the fact that the island itself is essentially a large granite rock sticking out of the ocean, the remnants of an extinct volcano. Because of its steep incline on all sides, there is really only one place for a person to stand: the peak, which you can only get to if you are a skilled rock climber. And even if you are, it isn't recommended that you try climbing the relatively short summit of 65 feet, as the island is smack dab in the part of the ocean which boasts waves reaching upwards of 100 feet, despite there being no natural value to the island, other than its looks. Rockall was considered an extremely important strategic location by the United Kingdom, who claimed the island in fear of it falling into the hands of the USSR and being used to house a missile silo. Britain's claim to the island also has the historical distinction of being their last modern-day territorial acquisition.
Number 3.
Gruinard Island.
I could just imagine, I don't know why, the entire time he was discussing this island, I'm just imagining it, the water just taking it.
Down. I'm thinking about where does it stop? Like, does it stop at the bottom of the trenches of the ocean?
Probably it was a volcano.
But I'm saying, like, how deep is the volcano? What does that falls on?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And does that volcano falls on another layer of rock? And does that, or is it just probably one huge volcano?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing with all these islands, like, there are some islands that don't need to be touched. That's already for someone. And it's sad that people they can't get what they want off the island, so they take the whole thing by force.
Yeah.
And then it's a war, then it's contaminated, and then they try to rebuild it, and then they use it for missile launching and all that. So it's like, why not just accept your loss? If you can't get it, don't fight for it. This wasn't yours from the jump.
I mean, that's why the wars be starting. Yeah,
The island is another one of Scotland's treacherous isles.
Yeah, I know it.
But it owes its place on our list for a man-made danger. This hauntingly bleak-looking island was once home to some of the most extreme biological weapons testing of the 20th century. The British Army peppered and doused the islands hundreds of times with weapons like chlorine gas and anthrax. The anthrax, in particular, had a permanent effect on Gruinard, as it soured the soil and decimated the entire indigenous animal population. The island remains a wasteland, and only sanctioned government researchers are allowed to visit it. And they must wear hazmat suits the moment they step on the island until they leave. Any attempt by non-military personnel to land on the island is strictly prohibited. And even if it wasn't, you probably shouldn't go there anyway, as you wouldn't survive very long.
Sounds like Area 51 to me.
Miyakejima. The
Miyakejima.
Izu island chain that juts from Japan's southeastern coast is made up of a string of volcanoes, all of which are currently active. In the last century alone, nearly 200 people have perished due to major eruptions. The most major of these was in 2000, when Mount Oyama, the biggest volcano on the island of Miyakejima, blew its top, Oyama, which looms over several small villages, occupied by a few thousand people, spewed lava and lethal amounts of sulfuric gas upon the island for 4 straight years. While some decided to pack up and move,
You moving a little slow, my boy.
population stayed.
Moving a
Up
little
until
slow.
2005, much of the island was restricted, and the people of Miyakejima were forced to stay inside with their doors sealed, only traveling outside in their gas masks if absolutely necessary. Nowadays, the people have returned to work and adapted to life next to this fiery giant by closely monitoring the gas levels and keeping gas masks handy in case the levels become excessive. Tourists are even welcomed now, as commercial flights were allowed to start back up.
That's the only island. That's the only
But
island
if
that
you do visit,
have tourists.
you
I
better
see.
come prepared and expect to feel like you are on another, much more dangerous planet.
Mars.
Number
I'm
1.
good.
Ramree Island. Just off the coast of Myanmar, in the Indian Ocean, is Ramree Island. At a distance, the island looks like the perfect place for a relaxing vacation. But if you were to travel inland, you'd most likely have an experience akin to a Jurassic nightmare, and probably end up in the belly of one of the world's oldest surviving species. Ramree is unique because it is home to the largest consolidated basque of saltwater crocodiles.
Child, we
In
got
World War
that.
II, after being defeated by the British,
Wait a
in a
minute.
battle on the
We
island,
get this all the time in Louisiana. We see alligators. We catch them in our backyard. They everywhere.
Yes. It's, all right. If that's the reason we can't
over-exaggerated
go,
that
we
one.
going.
I mean, they're like, no. Hold on, now. Still don't want to just pull up on the island where millions of crocs are just swimming and walking around for free.
Yeah.
Now they ain't normal.
Nah.
I can't lay down without seeing a big lizard
Oh
walking towards
no.
me.
That's like that
Huh.
video about Australia with the kangaroos.
Yeah, all them kangaroo with the big old clock.
I don't know about that one. Hold up. I had to rethink.
the Japanese army retreated through Ramree's swamplands, and over 400 soldiers were gobbled up by the nasty crocs. To this day, the onslaught that the Japanese faced in the form of these 2,000-pound reptiles remains the event with the largest loss of human life due to animals. If you had to choose one of these islands for your next vacation, which one would you choose?
Oh, I'll choose number 1, Ramree Island. I'm from the swamp. I know what to do with them big things.
400.
All 400.
400 people was gobbled up.
Nah, they wasn't doing it right. They wasn't out there for one reason. That's probably to fight and do all the other stuff. And they didn't see the crocs coming. The crocs came and took them by the ankles and underneath the water.
They should have went out there with their grills.
Something.
And cooked the alligators,
So I'm
crocodiles,
just saying.
whatever.
That's different though, man. And that's not even the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this earth that we stay on. Like the islands that we have that are still undiscovered would probably blow our minds today if we found out what's really on them. But this is definitely different.
This is very interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So we hope you all enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way. And our mailing address is in the description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.